everyone to Ohanga's third live streaming video at Ohanga by the fireplace. My name is Maggie. Today I'm here with Geraldine Sosha, owner and creator of Branching Off Studio. So, we'll just chat a little bit while we wait for some more people to join us, and then we'll really get started in a couple of minutes. Now, I actually had a question for you, Geraldine. Where do you get the extra, materials that you incorporate in addition to the actual origami in your products?
So if you're talking about the driftwood, all of those come from Rhode Island.
Oh, we do. Mondays and Tuesdays are our day to go to all the different beaches and whatever I find. So
That's so nice.
yeah, take the puppy.
Oh, that's so cute. What kind of puppy do you have?
She's a 7-month-old husky shepherd mix.
Oh my goodness. Does she howl like crazy? Because I've been seeing a lot of videos of screaming huskies recently.
No noise.
Really?
Perfect dog. No noise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It must be that shepherd mix in there. Because I would love to have a dog. My family doesn't have any pets, unfortunately, but I've heard huskies really talk a lot.
Right. She'll let us know when she needs to go out and come in, and that's about it. Other than that, she just stays
Very
silent, and I love that.
How old is she?
She's 7 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's still very little. She's the runt of the litter, so she's even smaller.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So did you get her during COVID, during quarantine, because you were stuck at home and you needed some company?
We did. It was the last few months before everything started getting back, and we rescued her. So yeah.
That's nice. So how is that adjustment translating to life as everything starts to open up again?
Good. Thank God I have a lot of time at home.
Okay.
So yeah, she's around me all the time. Yeah. She's my go-to dog.
That's cute. Aww. All right, let's see what time is it. Well, we can give them still a couple more minutes. Again, welcome to Ohanga's third live streaming. We're here at our store in Newport on Thames Street at the Brick Marketplace. As you can see, the space is very pretty, full of light. What do you think about this space, Geraldine?
I love this space. This is my favorite space to come to. Definitely. It's very bright. It's filled. The artists here are amazing.
Thank you so much. And we have this glorious fireplace, which we can now use for our live streaming events. And putting all of our artists' great work here. So here we have a lot of Geraldine's origami. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, what they are, maybe how long it takes you to make the different kinds of products?
So, everything, the timing is definitely different from a flower. These are traditional origami flowers, which are actually called kusudama flowers. And they are 5 individual petals that are then glued together. These only take a couple of minutes each to make.
Let me bring this up close to the camera. But you can keep telling us
And
about
that
them.
one's actually really cool because it's made from music sheets from a local band. So it's really neat with the paper. I do a lot of weddings, and sometimes I'll have special requests of either the music sheets from a favorite band or book pages. I believe there's a book page one around. Actually, it might be in the. But yeah, so that's a lot of fun with paper to do different things like that. The origami cranes, something like this would probably end up taking a couple hours. This is a whole bunch of cranes. A lot of times when it's something that's going to go in the window or the car charms where the sun's going to be, I put a finish on it to protect it from the UV rays. So something like that.
Paper.
Yes.
Interesting.
So something like that takes quite a bit more time to make. All the driftwood is local from Rhode Island beaches from when we're out and about with the puppy.
Aww. So it's great that you reuse materials that you find, and also, at your weddings, you said using the music paper. That's so great.
Yep. And then these little bottles. These little, do you want to bring it up?
Yeah.
The small cranes in here definitely take a little bit more time than a bigger crane. Those I need my thumbnails for to really get in, so those are a little bit more time consuming.
Yeah, and you were saying that if you break a nail, then you're out of commission.
I'm out of commission. Just gotta wait until it grows back. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, I think we can get started now. So to any newcomers, welcome again to Ohanga's Facebook live streaming, Ohanga by the fireplace here in our Newport location. My name is Maggie. Today I'm here with Geraldine Sosha, owner and creator of Branching Off Studio. And we're so excited to talk everything paper today.
Yes.
So why don't you start off telling us a little bit about how you got involved with origami, because I know it's a very interesting story.
So for me, it got started in 2015 when we were planning our wedding, and I decided to do the traditional 1,000 origami cranes. So the story is, if you fold 1,000 origami cranes, you were granted the ultimate wish. Everyone's ultimate wish can be different.
Wow.
So you were granted that, and we did more than 1,000. I think we ended up with 1,400 cranes that were around our whole reception area, and we did glass balls, each with 10 mini cranes in it.
Oh my goodness.
So
wow.
there were origami cranes everywhere, and then getting closer to the wedding, I had my two sons walking down the aisle, no place to hold a bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the flowers on my wrist in a corsage and in my hair, and so that's where it stemmed. Everyone loved it, they wanted a piece of it, and the business started.
And it started from there. So when you say we folded all the origami cranes, who's the we? Was it you? Was it your husband who is here in the store with us today?
Well, it was 99.9% me, and I think Mark put his hands on a few of them.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. And so is the story about the 1,000 cranes and getting your wishes, is that strictly related to weddings, or is it just in general?
They say any major event, so funerals, birth of a child, and
Okay.
weddings. So, but now modernly, you're seeing it more and more with weddings.
Gotcha.
So,
and where did you find out about the story, and what's the context of the story? Is it attached to a particular culture?
it's actually in several different cultures, Japanese and Chinese, and I think it was just in search looking for something different and unique for our wedding, and I stumbled across it and I fell in love with it. I was like, let's do it.
That's so cool, yeah. So were you involved with any kind of paper crafts before your wedding?
I've always been artsy with a bunch of different things, not necessarily paper, but now I love it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So then how did you turn this, this theme that you loved for your wedding into a business? You said people started asking you to make it for them.
So our welcome table was a big lighted branching tree, and I had all these cranes hanging with beads that would catch in the light. And we realized at the end of the reception, I was like, where did all the cranes go?
People were picking them up.
Instead of just the favors that were the ornaments, they were taking those and leaving. And then I started getting messages, can I get a couple more of those? We love those. And I was just like,
why
I think I should do this.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to end either. I started loving, but every night I would just fold. I loved it.
Yeah. So you must have gotten more than one wish at this point, because you're folding so many paper cranes.
Yeah, I think I've been pretty blessed with the wishes.
Lovely. So let's talk paper. What do you use? Where do you get it? How does it work?
Paper, all different places. Sometimes it's new paper, as you have there. I'm a huge fan of the tie-dye paper because I love the colors. So this is something I would order. Other times, like when we showed you the flowers from the music sheets, these are things that I can actually get from people who have like a favorite band, the actual book of their sheet music.
Right.
And then I have book pages as well. So if I'm out and about and I see a book that can no longer be read, it's damaged in one way or another, I'll start taking the pages from that and folding flowers from that too. So the paper really comes many different places. The newest thing to me is rock paper.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have you feel it because it feels so neat. This paper, I still don't understand how, but it's completely made from rocks.
This one's the one made from rocks. This is regular paper.
It's 100% waterproof as is. So now I can start creating different things that can be handled out in the weather. And I'm really excited for that.
Is that also rock paper?
This is different types of rock paper.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So there's different thickness, feels. It's really neat. I'm very excited. This is
a nice texture.
This is really new to me in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, wow. And where did you find it?
Actually, the owner of the company, it's based out of Cincinnati, she contacted me and asked if I could start making some sort of cranes or flowers that could be outside and trial and error and see what I came up with. So we've been working and creating, and I love it.
Wow. So, and how do you, because it feels a little thicker than this other traditional paper that you've been working with. So what's it been like?
So far I've made this size, which is a 4-inch square, which is actually the traditional size of an origami crane. I don't think I'd be able to go any smaller
Okay.
with this. And I've made wind chimes with the creams coming down the middle. And that was, I was able to fold that perfectly fine, even though this paper is thicker. It folds like butter. It's really neat.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but it does. So that's as far as I've gotten with that so far.
And do you know what kind of rocks go on this or what the process is like?
I don't. I have to do so much more information. It was on a whim that she sent me this pack, and I've been like,
Oh, so she sent this to you.
yes,
Gotcha.
yes,
Wow.
yep.
That's very cool.
So it's really neat. I'm excited to see what else I can do with it.
Absolutely. Have you thought about, folding them into little boats and like actually floating them on water?
And that's a really good idea. I've seen Origami Boats, and I haven't done it yet, and that would be really interesting to do.
The one paper folding I've ever done was my grandma taught me how to fold little paper boats, and I always wanted to float them on water, but of course, the water soaks,
Right.
the boats soak it up, and so what she taught us was to use crayons on the bottom of it, because that would make it waterproof. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And now you wouldn't need to.
now you wouldn't need it.
That's
Now
really
the
neat.
entire boat would be waterproof.
I'll have to try that.
There you go. There's another idea. So speaking of paper cranes, I think the plan was for you to teach me how to make a paper crane today.
Let's do it. I'm gonna steal one of these. You can pick what you want.
I like this rainbow one.
Okay.
Are we seeing okay?
All right. So we're gonna start by going corner to corner. And as we fold, we just want to make sure when we make creases that they're really good creases.
That's where
Yep, the cleaner and crisp the creases, the easier it will be when we get to the end part. Now, folding it that way, your crane is actually going to primarily be orange, unless you want to flip it around.
Good call.
Yep. And then we're going to open it up and do the same thing the other way.
Okay, so
Nope.
other
Corner to
diagonal.
corner.
Gotcha.
There you go. Right now, we're just making all the creases so the crane can go together well. Now we're going to open it back up and we'll do edge to edge. Yes, do the same way the other side. Now this next part, when I do it with my son, he gets stumped.
Uh-oh.
All right, when you hold it and you have good creases, one of your small squares should be able to fold in.
All right.
Yep, just like that. Woo. And then we're gonna crease it. It should be right down in the middle of that line. Yep, and we're gonna push that other side in too. So now it's almost like we just have a diamond or another smaller square. Yep.
Oh, that way. Okay.
Yep. Now we're gonna use that middle fold line and we're gonna bring both these edges in. Yep, just like that, right into the middle. And we're gonna do that on both sides. Yep, perfect. And then we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna do that exact same thing. And then we should end up with something that looks like a kite.
I hope mine looks like a kite.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
And then again, just to get a good crease, we're gonna take this and we're just gonna flap it back and forth.
So you got a kite here.
Yep.
We're folding like the little top triangle.
Yep, just back and forth to get that good crease in. And you're gonna see why in our very next step. All right, so we're gonna open these up. And we're gonna put our finger in and push it up to that crease. And it should just kind of wanna fold on its own.
Ooh. Okay, yes. Wow, that's kind of magical.
Yeah. And then you can just flatten it right down. And we're left with this, what is this? Triangle, diamond?
Yeah, so kind of a stretched out diamond.
And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And just push it right up to that crease. gonna fold these into that center again. Only a couple more steps, we're almost there. Yep.
The entire corner.
Yep, just fold it right into the center, perfect. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side.
So you make cranes that are even smaller than this, right?
Very small. So this started out with a 4-inch piece of paper. I go all the way down to 3/4 of an inch.
Oh my goodness. Do you use tweezers or something?
No, that's when I need those thumbnails.
Gotcha.
Thumbnails and a lot of patience. And then we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing. Yep.
At least it's repetitive.
It is. More.
Sorry, I'm a bit slow.
No, that's okay.
I bet you could probably do this so quickly now.
My kids asked the other day, we're gonna blindfold you and see if
I bet you could do
I
it.
actually did.
You
It was
did?
a little messy,
Of
but I was
course.
like, I stunned myself. Now we're gonna take these two and push them in together.
Okay, let me show first what
Yep.
we've got here, actually. Hopefully, if anyone is following along, or anyone who watches this video later, gets this nice diamond shape.
So we're just gonna put our fingers right between the two papers, and we're just gonna close that up, and close the other side up. We're gonna flip this up. Yep, flip it right up.
Up to what part?
There should be like almost a little crease.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, and we're gonna flip the other side up. All right, here it goes. We're gonna squeeze this together.
Please.
Yep, right there on both sides.
Okay, so you open it up on the other end and like squeeze it.
Yep, and now you're gonna peel open her wings. Yep,
Like this?
just like that.
Oh my
And then you
goodness!
just have to pick a side and give her a head.
There she is!
And there she is.
Wow. That's amazing.
And now you have a good luck crane.
Aww. So it symbolizes good, well, I guess, yeah, it's a whole wish story that
They
makes
do.
sense.
They symbolize peace, good luck, and happiness.
And you were saying that origami literally means fold
Yep, the art of folding paper.
in Japanese.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. We can put this little guy right
So
here.
nice. And actually, we can show our viewers just how small, because yeah, these are the same paper cranes, right?
Yes, they
Same
are.
earrings.
Yep.
Well, everyone can look at my attempt at a paper crane. It actually turned out pretty good. And then Geraldine's smallest paper cranes and some of her earrings. Wow, this is so amazing. Thank you so much for showing us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were saying that your kids, you know, challenge you. They ask you to do stuff. Are they involved in your origami?
A little bit. They try here and there, but you know, boys.
Yeah.
They go off to do other things.
Of course, yeah. So where do you sell your origamis? At art fairs? I mean, besides Ohanga, of course, in this store in our online shop.
I have several local brick and mortar stores throughout New England, and I also sell wholesale nationwide. So,
Wow.
yeah, and I every now and then will get out and do a show, but I try to stay behind the scenes.
Shows are hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much setting up to do. It's such a long day.
Yeah, they're very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you hoping? What are your hopes for Branching Off Studio? Actually, let me ask a different question. Where did the name Branching Off Studio come from?
All right. So in my daytime job,
Okay. Which is?
I drive a school bus
Gotcha.
part-time, so during a break I was sitting under a tree, and that's my favorite thing to do. And then the branches and my brain just started going, and that's where it came from.
Oh,
So,
that's wonderful.
yep.
And I mean, I guess it makes sense because, you know, paper comes from trees, so it's all really connected. Oh, lovely. Well, now my original question. What are your hopes for Branching Off Studio? Do you like where you're at right now? Are you hoping it's going to grow into something else?
Yeah, I like exactly where I'm at. I do a few weddings a year. I wouldn't mind doing a few more.
Okay.
The weddings, I can do, you know, the bouquets and the centerpieces. So that's a lot of fun to bring other people's creativity into it when they start telling me different things they want to see. But I'm good. I really like where everything's taking off and going.
That's awesome. What's the hardest origami piece you've ever done?
I'm not really sure. I think really working with the driftwood because it's so different. I have no control over, this is such an easy, nice, straight piece, but sometimes they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Working with the balance, that's probably more difficult. Or for weddings when somebody gives me a vase that they have and it's odd shaped, filling the flowers in with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what about actually in terms of like the folding? Do you tend to just stick to the cranes and the flowers, or do you try anything crazy?
I come to the point where I don't really have the time to actually teach myself the other. I see them, I love them, but you saw how many steps in a crane.
Oh my goodness,
so,
yeah, I can't even, something that small has so many steps, I can't even imagine something that much bigger.
Right.
Wow. That's so cool. I loved like the tactile feeling of it, of like working with the paper and creating something that's so cool and something that you don't get in a lot of, daily jobs or daily tasks or anything like that.
Right. It keeps my mind busy. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If my mind's busy folding the paper, it doesn't have time to think of anything else. So I like that.
Awesome. Do you want to talk a little bit about these good luck bottles? So I guess everything is centered around this whole idea of luck, which is absolutely amazing. So what gave you the idea for this bottle?
This bottle, I actually had it sitting, I think I just had scrap paper and I made a few of the greens. The branches were left over from a wedding. And I had one of these sitting on a shelf in my living room for such a long time and then realized,
let me put something in it.
Why doesn't anyone else have these hanging around? So this is one of the newer things that I started selling and creating. So yeah, I love these. And these, again, every single one is completely different depending on the branch inside.
Of course, yeah, they're all one of a kind.
Yeah, they're completely different, but I love that.
Yeah. What was the first product you made and started selling?
The very first thing I did was the ornaments. Those will start coming out again towards Christmas time.
Okay.
They're glass ornaments. Some of them have a little hanging one crane inside floating, and some have about 10 to 12 cranes at the bottom.
Okay.
So those are the very first, and then we don't have one sitting over here, but the car charms.
Oh, we've got the car charms right here, actually. These ones right here.
Nope, those are the sun catchers.
Oh, well then we have the smaller ones over here.
It has the chain on top. So this is the very first thing I started creating many of. These hang from your rear view mirror. So I designed it with a hook and a chain to wrap right around.
Oh, perfect.
So they go to the rear view mirror, and the point was each one has a different charm at the bottom. It's always an inspirational quote.
Oh.
And this way is so you can have good luck on your travels.
That's
That's really the first one that I started creating many of. And they're actually one of the best sellers. So
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful.
thank you.
Well, we've got some people walking into the store. Hi.
We have a Facebook Live session
We're
going on.
just here talking to Gerald Sosha, owner of Branching Off Studio. He does all the origami stuff you guys see in the store. So
Cool.
feel free to keep looking around. We're just going to keep chatting. We're going to show our viewers this car charm we're talking about. Here's the charm at the bottom. And I'm sure these will become even more popular now that we can actually go places and things are opening up again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for, first of all, showing me how to fold this paper crane. I'm very proud of myself. I was a little nervous about that part. And for talking about all of your absolutely wonderful products and how you got into origami and paper folding. And I'm sure now a lot more people out there are going to look up the 1,000 crane story, hoping for a wish. So thank you very much for being here with us today. Thank you for everyone who's been watching. Let us know if you have any questions. Where can people best reach you with any questions?
Probably my email, which is pretty easy. It's just branchingoffstudio@gmail.com, or they can go to my Facebook page, which is also just Branching Off Studio.
Awesome. And of course, Geraldine is also on ohanga.com. She has her whole profile there, and all of her products are in the Ohanga market. So thanks again so much, everyone.